Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Radio Denver, the most informative hour of radio of the weekend. And we're here every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on News Talk 710 KNUS. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Tom Souther, and Real Estate Radio Denver is dedicated to building Denver's housing and credit marketplace. We're here to give you that timely truth about the real estate, mortgage, credit, financial markets, that truth we feel you're not getting from the national news sources, and quite often not from the locals. So we're here to help rebuild that Denver marketplace. We do that one home at a time. We give you some great advice, a little education, and we connect you with professionals that can help you, whether that's buying or selling a home, maybe help you with a credit situation or some financial tips. So within every market, there's some great solutions and just fantastic opportunities. You need some trusted advice, and that's what you'll hear every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on News Talk 710 KNUS. So in addition, I always want to encourage you to reach out to the show. You can do that in a number of ways. It's off air, but we'd love to get back with any kind of questions or comments next week. And that number again is 720-515-1818. 720-515-1818. You can text that number, or you can leave us a voice message, or feel free to email me. You can reach me at tom@realestateradiodenver.com. That's tom@realestateradiodenver.com, and love to have a conversation with you, and hopefully get you connected with that professional that maybe we've introduced on the show. Last week we had a great show about senior real estate and the issues that seniors are running into, and how that marketplace is changing for seniors. And I think we gave you some great insight as to what's going on in that piece. And again, reach out to us. I'd love to put you together with the right professionals. 720-515-1818. This week, we've got a new topic, surprisingly enough. We've got some old faces. We have with us, faces for radio for sure. We have Tom Geisen, the owner-founder of Homestead Title. Tom, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tom's a regular participant, and always like to get a Homestead Title update if there's anything new and exciting going on. I'm putting you on the spot here. We didn't prepare for this.
You know what? Yeah, actually, I can't go into total detail, but we're working on a kind of a small acquisition,
a scoop,
a little acquisition of of another title agency in town, and I think this would give us a great access into kind of the Hispanic market, which is something that I actually personally focused on for a number of years in the early part of my career. I do speak Spanish, and it's a great market. We have a lot of great contacts there, and so we're excited with this deal that hopefully we will solidify here and have it would allow us to have a fourth branch as well, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, you learn something every day. I did not know you speak Spanish.
There you go.
How about that? So there's another plus. Well, that's great. More news to come.
Yeah, it's a good. And then overall, the market's changed, as we talked a little bit last week. I think this is in something with our next guest that we'll introduce here in a second. But, we are absolutely really kind of finally moving towards that really that purchase market that we've talked about for a long time. I mean, refinances have been a big part of our business. It's been a big part of your business. Been a big part of really anybody's business over the last 3-4 years, with rates being where they're at. But we have seen that tick up in rates. And there's still refinances. We talk a lot about that, but I would say overall we're seeing title companies right now. This is interesting stats, but we're seeing I'm talking to a lot of my competitors, people down about 50% on their total order production.
I believe that,
and that's pretty good. We're holding about 35% down, so we're down.
The refinances are definitely slowing. That's never been a big part of my business. I'm a 70-80% purchase guy. That's typically what I do, but there are certainly plenty of refinances out there. And it's interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine in San Diego, just give you, and I haven't seen this here, but he said that he saw 4 mortgage companies shut their doors in the San Diego marketplace last week, just due to that rate increase, which, rates have gone up half to a full point in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Month.
It's funny that you say that, because I got a call on Friday morning from somebody who said, hey, their manager just got axed, and did I know if there's somewhere he could go. 2 hours later, I talked to another title company who was cutting a significant portion of their staff. And, I have a good friend of mine who always says, man, you guys are crazy. I mean, rates go up and immediately you just react. And unfortunately, in our business, it is so labor intensive, both on the lending side and on the title side, that when these things happen, when rates go up or down or whatnot, you do have to adjust immediately. And you're doing that either hiring a bunch of people, or you're looking at it because your orders can go down 35% literally in a week.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, let's introduce our third guest and our second guest. I guess I don't count myself in that. And then we can continue that conversation. We also have with us Jerry Rohlfs, with West USA Realty of the Rockies. And Jerry runs this organization here, and they've got a unique kind of mix. And Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
All right. And, I want to stay on that kind of refinance change in the marketplace. And Jerry, jump in here because I think there's plenty of companies. Our organization, Citywide Home Loans, has a huge focus on the purchase market. So this hasn't affected us, and we're still looking for great people. And we're expanding. And we're looking for top originators, loan originators that are purchase-based focus. And that's the bread and butter of this marketplace. All the refinances are low-hanging fruit. And it pains me to see good people, particularly on the operations staff, processors and underwriters and whatnot, that are in danger of losing their positions because they were in an organization that had the wrong focus.
We've all been in the business for quite some time here. And the thing you learn about the real estate business, or the lending business, or the title company business for that matter, is you take what it gives you. You have to be adaptable. And that's where the market is today.
Yeah.
But really, if we look at things from an overall perspective, a 4.5% interest rate is still the bargain in the history, a historical bargain. Anything under 6%, really, when you do the calculations, is free money.
It's free money. Yep.
It's absolutely free.
Yeah. Hey, you're listening to Real Estate Radio Denver here on News Talk 710 KNUS. We're going to come right back, and we're going to give you a little more insight as to what's going on in that market and how West USA Realty is going to fit into that. So don't miss a minute. Come on back. We'll be right with you. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Denver. I'm your host, Tom Souther, and I have with me two great guests this week. We're filling you in on what's going on with rates and what that effect is on the marketplace before we jump into the meat of our real show here. But because it's been a roller coaster. Well, actually, it's just been a uphill roller coaster for the last month. Just to fill you in, if you're probably not a rate watcher, but rates have gone up, I'd say, a good point in the last month and a half. Fed came out twice and said things that the market didn't really like. A month ago, that caused about a 0.5 point increase to rates, and that happened again a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And it's interesting, the Fed has... many of the Fed leaders have backed off on those comments in the last couple of weeks because they don't feel my take on that is they don't feel that the economy is as strong as it could be, and they did not like the reaction that the market had to those comments. So they've definitely come back and said we're not going to do anything in the near future with the bond purchases, the quantitative easing that they've been doing for a year.
Okay. I didn't hear that. So they did come back and sort of retract that?
Yep. And they're saying, that's going to stay just the way it is until we see specific numbers. And they're talking unemployment in this, I think it was 6.5 or 7. I don't remember the exact number range. And we're a long way off of that. So
rates, I've heard they corrected a little bit, didn't they?
They have corrected a little bit, and I think they're going to keep correcting. They haven't corrected massively, but I think we settle in the low to mid 4s, which, as Jerry said a minute ago, was free money, still free money. People are spoiled, I think, in getting those low 3 and mid 3 rates, and. When people ask me about rates, I say they're world class right now. You're in the 4s.
Some of the best markets we've had in Denver, and go back to the early 1990s when the market really boomed in Denver.
Sure.
What were interest rates? They were 7.5%.
7, 8, yeah.
And people were buying like crazy. They couldn't get enough. and it was a bargain for them because they were making a lot of money. So when you're judging an interest rate, you can't just judge the interest rate. You've also got to judge the inflation rate on housing to compare those two things together. And then you can decide when is the time to buy. The Denver market right now presents a wonderful time to buy with rates at 4.5%, and houses still at a somewhat bargain price. They've gone up a lot, but they're still only up to a level that's a few years behind.
Comparable. Yeah, that's right.
I was going to ask that. Actually, one of the notes that I had is, where are values compared to like 2006, 2007?
Well, I think if you bought a house in, say, 2002 or 2003, you've got a little bit of appreciation on it now. You've heard appreciation values of 12, 14% over a year ago, but you got to reflect on what the prices were a year ago.
That's right.
So, but definitely prices are going in the right direction, and the market is trying to correct itself. We're facing a very low inventory situation right now, and it's difficult to find houses for people, and the new housing market is a bit behind on that because of the financing availability for builders.
Let's talk quickly about the inventory. Is last I looked, around 7,000. Is that about right?
Yeah, 7,000 or a few less.
Okay, a few less than that. And in normal times, that number, I've heard 17,000.
14,000 would be kind of a seller's market. 17,000 would be kind of a balanced market.
A balanced market.
And so we're a long way from that. And the offers are coming in on properties at incredible rates. You might put a property on the market and have 8 offers in 4 hours.
Yeah, that's
so people are fighting over the houses.
Yeah, and I think if you look at values, they are very location specific. Certain areas of town have done extremely well over the last several years. I think Denver has been very strong. Some not quite as well.
Yeah,
so,
and actually on that point, Tom, I wanted to actually throw that out because I know we've talked on the show about one of the products that we offer at Homestead Title called Altos Research, and it actually is a product that can be drilled down to the zip code level to tell people what their value has done kind of year over year and really week to week what the trend is in that particular zip code. I just want to encourage the listenership out there that if anybody wants to know that, they are more than welcome to call me, and I'm happy to send them that report. Or Jerry, they could probably call you and get the same thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe talk a little on the off-air number or whatnot. I'm happy to give that.
Off-air number 720-515-1818. Leave me a message or a text, and I will put you together with either Tom or Jerry. 720-515-1818, and we'll get you that report. Runs by zip code.
Yeah, I can drill it all the way down. It can be city specific, or I can do it down to the zip code, which I think is important.
So we're happy to provide that free market analysis for you. If you're interested to see what's your home doing, what's your neighborhood, what's your town, whether that's Arvada or Denver. Denver, you probably need to be zip code specific, but maybe it's Aurora or a section of Aurora. You name it. We can drill that down for you, and we'd love to do that market analysis for you and get that free copy to you. Again, 720-515-1818. You can text or leave me a voice message, or shoot me an email at tom@realestateradiodenver.com.
So let's chat about his company, right?
Yeah, let's do that. I could spend all day just talking about what the effect of these rate changes are to what you think in the marketplace. Before we go there, I want to throw this one at you, and I know this is off script, Jerry, but I know you can knock this one out of the park. With the rates going up, you mentioned people getting multiple offers. If homes are priced correctly, it's not unusual to get 5, 8, 10 offers and have a stack of them to choose from if you're a seller. What do you think with rates going up a little bit? Does that affect that number of offers? Does it?
I think on a temporary basis it does. Anytime you see a spike in rates, you see a slowdown in the market.
Right.
But then I think a few weeks after that, who knows the exact timing because it's an emotional issue, but a few weeks after that, you see people again saying, I better start buying because now's the time. The rates are going to keep going up.
Right.
I think we've always known the rates had to go back up.
Absolutely. The natural spot is not 3.5%, 4%. It's much higher than that.
Certainly. There's no return on investment at 3.5%, 4%. The only way that happens is through government support.
Right.
And eventually you run out of money and you got to do business as you do business.
You're not going to keep sending them bigger checks?
No. Well, maybe I am, but it isn't going to be voluntarily.
Yes, I was going to say you are going to be. That's a good point.
All right. Well, let's talk about West USA Realty of the Rockies. You guys have a unique value proposition and something you do in the market that not many do. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a new concept in the real estate business. We're operating retail locations in Walmart stores where we have a large audience of prospective buyers. I think that people often look at Walmart stores serving the lower income person, and that's simply not true by location. Right. We have a store at Arapahoe Road and Havana, and you're going to see the same demographics in that store that you're going to see in that neighborhood. And it's certainly not a lower income community. It's an upper middle class community. Right. And that's true of every store. We have one in the north side of town in Westminster at 136th and I-25, and we have the same kind of demographics there. The truth of the matter is that everybody likes to save money. It doesn't matter how much you make.
That's
you
exactly
like to save money. And in some instances, Walmart has the best deal. But what we're really trying to do is bring it back to the community, bring our real estate brokers to the community where those communities can easily get in contact with them, can build a relationship with them, and when they're ready to move on a property, buy one or sell one, they can say to themselves, I was in Walmart the other day, and those people have been there for a long time, and I see them all the time, and so maybe I'm going to go talk to them about my needs. And that's what we're hoping for, and that's what we're trying to create in the Walmart location. We also have stores at 72nd and Sheridan in the Westminster area and one in Flatirons. So we're covering the end of the market where people ought to really be buying houses.
So Flatirons in the shopping
No,
area,
it's a little bit to the west of the shopping center. It's at 500 Summit Boulevard. So just on the, I think.
So those are more typical retail real estate shops.
Right.
Versus well, I use the word retail, but versus the Walmart, which is your...
No. All of theirs are in the Walmart.
All of ours are in the Walmart.
All of them are in the Walmart.
Yeah, there's a Walmart store in Flatirons. And, we cover a broad spectrum of people, of buyers. I just heard on the way in, and it surprised me today, that the new home buyers, the first-time home buyers, that market is way down, substantially down. And can't figure out a good reason for that in my head now, but that's surprising to me because there's so many opportunities for first-time home buyers in the market right now.
There are, but do you? I'm wondering if that's a function of just the nature of that multiple offer environment, that it's harder if you're a first-time home buyer, perhaps with not quite as much money into the deal. You're looking at some of the first-time home buyer financing that's less attractive to a seller.
Could be part of the problem, that's for sure.
I'm just thinking out loud here, but in a very competitive bid situation, those higher cash offers, not necessarily all cash, but a larger down payment, is a little more attractive to the seller quite often than a lower down first-time home buyer. I don't want to discourage first-time home buyers because I think that's an incredible opportunity out there to buy versus rent today.
Well, certainly they can probably get a house payment that's lower than a rent payment in today's market.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about this all the time, that the qualification is fairly easy, and there's great down payment assistance programs if you don't even have the minimum down payment. And the myth of 20% down is nowhere near truth. We have deals we put together with $1,000 down.
Oh, certainly.
If you're a veteran, zero down. One thing I wanted to throw out, as a matter of fact, speaking of veterans, I always forget to do this. Citywide Home Loans is running a special for any veteran borrower for the rest of the year, where we are waiving our $795 underwriting fee for any veteran, whether you're using VA financing or not. If you're a veteran, I'd love to help you with that loan and provide you a significant discount on what normal fees are. So
that's a nice service.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah,
that's great.
Our company just decided to honor our veterans and do that for the rest of this calendar year. That we're waiving our $795 underwriting fee for all veterans, any veteran in any transaction. So again, if that sounds interesting to you, I'd love to talk to you. I love helping our veterans. And I closed quite a few of those VA loans. 720-515-1818. Again, 720-515-1818. 1818. Sorry, a little sidetrack there.
Jerry, I had a question. Did you start West USA?
No, I didn't. West USA started in Arizona several years ago. It's a very, very large company in Arizona. I believe it's the 13th largest real estate franchise in the United States, and they're number one in Arizona. But a gentleman who originally attracted one Walmart location brought it together with West USA and brought in the walk-in concept into the real estate business, which is what these services are called, and was very, very successful at it. It may be a surprising thing in Colorado, but if you were in Arizona, you would see these everywhere in Walmart stores.
And how funny, obviously, we know another real estate firm that started in Colorado that back in the day kind of bucked the system as well and became a powerhouse in itself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, who knows where this is going?
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity and a great new concept in real estate. If I just have a minute, we see so much of the real estate business transferring to the internet, and the internet provides a lot of information, but I can't help but remember that commercial where they're talking about everything on the internet's the truth, correct? Everything on the internet's
it's in print.
Correct.
You have to believe
and
the
it's
internet,
just
right?
really not true.
All right. We're going to come back with that. Remind me, internet. When we come back, we're gonna go back to that topic. But thanks for listening to Real Estate Radio Denver here on News Talk 710 KNUS. We're going to be right back with more about how West USA is changing that market. Come on back. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Denver. I'm your host, Tom Souther, and I'm here in studio. I've got two great guests again today. I have Jerry Rohlfs with West USA Realty of the Rockies. And Jerry, welcome back.
Thank you.
And Jerry's company has kind of started a new concept here. They pioneered this, and they're opening retail stores and Walmarts. It's a great opportunity if you're a local Walmart. You stop in and say, "Hey, I heard about you guys on Real Estate Radio Denver," and say hello. They're really great and friendly people, and lots of information. Maybe you just want to pick up a little tidbit about what's going on in your area, and they'd love to help you with that.
Absolutely. I think that's what we're trying to bring to the marketplace is current information that's easily available to you.
Yeah.
Just walk in and see us.
Walk in, say hello. They won't bite you.
No, we won't bite.
Good. And I've also got with me Tom Geisen, the owner-founder of Homestead Title. Why am I stuttering? Don't know.
I don't know, but hi, Tom.
Supposed to not do that. Tom's a regular contributor and a great asset to the show. As a matter of fact, I think Tom's going to run the next week or so worth of shows for me. I'm going to be a little bit out. But we left last segment with an interesting concept about how the internet, you think, Jerry, people's concept is everything's going to the internet. And kind of, I think what that means is people's vision is it diminishes what that value that agents provide. Is that where you're going here?
Yeah, I believe
think that
so.
is not the case at all. It's just evolving.
It isn't the case because the information you get on the internet, especially from the national organizations that most people look at, I'm not going to say their names, but
I'll say their names.
Okay. The information is old and outdated, especially in the Denver market. They might go online and fall in love with a house on one of those websites, and by the time they can even see an agent to make an offer on it, the house won't be there anymore.
Oh, and it's been gone for 6 months.
And their values and estimates of values are way wrong. When you're doing something as important as selling or buying your most important investment in life, and you ought to get professional help doing that. You wouldn't go to court if you were going to court without an attorney because you'd lose. And the same thing happens in the real estate market. When you go to negotiate a real estate purchase or sale and do it without an expert, you're putting yourself at great risk. There's just no other answer to that. The most amazing part of the thing I think that people don't realize is that when you're purchasing something in the real estate market, a real estate broker services to you are free. They don't cost you anything.
That's right.
Why wouldn't you want an expert to help you?
To the buyer, it does not cost you a penny, and it doesn't. And many people think, I believe, Jerry, is that if they, as a buyer, are not using a real estate agent, they'll be able to negotiate a better deal with the seller's agent. What they don't realize is that seller's agent is getting both sides of that transaction, even regardless of whether they're paying you. It's not that he's going to get less. He's going to get double oftentimes versus having you represented by someone who's going to get a piece of that commission. The commission that they charge the seller is not going to change one penny.
That's absolutely correct. So not going to reduce the price of anything.
That's right. It is truly a free service to the buyer. And
many people
don't see that.
Many people don't realize they have the same opportunity when they're buying a new home to be represented by a real estate broker. With a builder, yes. And have somebody look out for them. The current Colorado real estate contract is anywhere from 15 to 20 pages long, depending on what all's in it. Better be careful what you're signing.
Yeah. Well, and you bring up the builder, and we've talked about that on the show quite a bit. Because I think buyers feel that they are discouraged from using a real estate agent with those builders. And I know for a fact with many conversations with builders, they are actually encouraging that relationship. They want agents to bring in buyers for them and be represented. It is not a situation where the builders are discouraging that at all.
That's correct. The builders have an organization that operates out of the Home Builders Association with the Realtors Association to establish rules and guidelines for all these transactions, and they spend a lot of time and effort creating that.
That's the Builder Realty Council that you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
yep. Yeah, exactly. We've actually had him on here.
We are happily members of,
yep,
and we've had them represented a couple of times on the show.
I was going to ask you a little bit. So all of these stores are manned stores with manned or women stores, is that what you would say?
Manned or women?
They're human stores.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
They have representatives in them.
I love our politically
That's what I'm getting at. They have representatives, right?
We started out trying to staff them with real estate brokers, which really didn't work very well because real estate brokers want to be out selling properties and doing business. So now we've staffed them with marketing people who can communicate with people to a certain level, and if they have an interest, they can transfer them over to a real estate broker who can service them going on. So we've kind of created a two-step process by where we have people in the store all the time who can answer their general questions and service their needs. And at whatever level they want to make contact with a real estate broker, then we can accomplish that, including if it has to be within the next hour or if it has to be within the next day or the next month. So we're there. It's about convenience for the buyer. That's what we're trying to, or seller, what we're trying to bring to the marketplace.
And how is it going so far?
It's going very well. It's a learning process. It's new in Colorado. I don't think a lot of people recognize the symbol West USA like they would other real estate companies. And so we have to build a brand. And that's why we acquired more stores so we could do that. It was difficult to build a brand in one or two stores. So.
Well, and it's funny you say that because I have had that same challenge, obviously, starting my own title company 4 years ago, is that we were not a household name either, right?
Sure.
But I will say it's fun building that brand. The people that work for me, it sounds like, I'll ask the question, I guess the realtors that are working for you have the same years of experience as another more established firm. It's just a different name.
Absolutely. And we're also trying to say that we need to do training. So our marketing people, we're offering them a free real estate education and a free opportunity to become a real estate broker as they learn the business. So we're also creating the concept with people who are used to working within the concept and become real estate brokers and want to serve the community in that manner.
That's great. That's great. Are you seeing more buyer activity or more seller activity?
Oh, unfortunately, still more buyer activity, and we need more sellers. That's what the marketplace needs worse than anything. And, of course, everybody knows in the market, they listen to the news, and they say, well, if I sell my property, where am I going to move? And so we have this unbalance in the market. It'll come together in the next, I would guess, 6 to 9 months as the new home inventories can build and people can sell their older home and move into a new home. I think the market will level out a bit.
Well, and that's what I think we're seeing a little bit of as values come up. People who maybe were underwater or close or didn't see that they would be able to get out from under their home can now. We're definitely seeing that in the refinance market as well. So as those values continue to come up a bit, I think it opens up that door for a lot more sellers. And it's a dance.
But that is the topic. You wonder, is that the reason people aren't putting their houses on the market because they don't think they can find something? Is that probably the number one reason, or what would you
it's
guess?
Certainly a significant reason. I don't know that there's enough information to say it's number 1 or number 10, but it's certainly a significant concern in the mix of why people don't want to sell their homes. I think that when you have a bad economic situation and your home can be such a burden on you financially and emotionally that eventually, if you can get out of it, you want to start anew. I think that's a natural human response. Not for everybody, but certainly for some people, when they've sacrificed everything to keep that home going and they can get out of it now and have a little equity, that's probably a good deal for them, but they still have to have another place to live.
Yeah, have to live somewhere.
And unfortunately, the new home market's just about as tight as the used home market is. So.
Yeah, well, which is a great thing in the marketplace, that there is new home activity, and there's lots of it right now. So that's very encouraging, where 2 years ago, these builders were wondering where their next meal's coming from, and now you see all of them with new communities and new models and new and development, and they're actually building homes that aren't sold, which is encouraging.
It's amazing. I live over by Solterra, if you know where Solterra is at, and in Lakewood, and it is amazing as I drive down that street how it's like a different view every day. Yeah. New houses going up. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you're listening to Real Estate Radio Denver here on News Talk 710 KNUS. I have Jerry Rohlfs with me with West USA Realty, and we're filling you in on what their concept is. And they're opening stores and Walmart stores all over the metro area. And I encourage you to stop in and say hello to them. They're great people. They've got a lot of great information. And we're going to come back and we're going to hit on the rest of the market that they're trying to cover. Come on back. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Denver. I'm your host, Tom Souther, and I have with me Jerry Rohlfs, who is the managing broker for West USA Realty. New concept in town. They are opening stores in Walmarts across town. Jerry, how many so far?
We have 4 so far, and there's 4 other operators in the area, so there's 8 in the Denver metro area.
Awesome. And one of the things we were talking about, I have with me, too, Tom Geisen. I don't want to forget about Tom sitting over here. Can't have enough Toms.
That's right.
Tom Geisen, founder of Homestead Title, regular voice. And one of the things that we were talking about off air in the break was that impression that maybe you're in a Walmart store, maybe it's a reduced service, or less going on in your brokerage versus what someone might get in a non-Walmart store brokerage, and that's not the truth.
Oh, no, that's for sure not the case. We're a full-service brokerage. We're simply trying to bring that service to the neighborhood and make it readily available to people in a Walmart store. We're certainly not overcharging. We're not undercharging. We're charging for the service we provide. And frankly, in today's market, people need that service because there's a lot of pitfalls to go into in selling or buying homes right now.
Well, you told me a great story while we were on the break as well. I'd love to share that because I think it's very, very true. I've seen homes go very quickly with multiple offers, upwards of 10 or more. And then I've seen homes that sit there on the market that seem to be okay. And what do you see as the difference there?
Well, I think there's several differences. It's pricing a home right now is a very critical process. It has to be close to what the market value is.
Right.
We used to always take the idea, well, we'll price it up here and see what we get.
See if it sticks.
And we'll negotiate down and see where it goes. It doesn't work in today's market for some reason because people are not negotiating down. They're negotiating up. They may make an offer for $5,000 more, but they don't seem to be making offers for $5,000 less. So houses that aren't priced right are going to sit on the market for a long time. I know of some that have been there for 6 months, while others have sold in 6 weeks, priced correctly. So when you're selling your house, there's some key important issues, and you want to make sure you can get the best price you can for it. You don't want to give something away. But if you overprice it, eventually you'll get less for your house than you would have if you priced it right. So, and I think really a real estate professional is the only one who can give you guidance on that. You can't find out what your house is worth on the internet. That's the first mistake.
That's for sure, because those values are worth every penny that you pay for them on those national sites,
right?
Which is nothing.
Yeah. And you must make sure that your house is staged properly so it creates the nicest look in the house. Paying for a stager is very important to get your house looking the way it should. If you hire a professional real estate broker, I believe that you'll get more from your house when the total deal is done than if you don't hire one. After you pay his commission, you'll still end up with more money, and you'll have a sale that closes. If you're trying to do it yourself, your sale may or may not close.
I'm with you there. And I think we've seen this time and time again that, you're often maybe going out a little, pricing a little under what that market value is and creating that frenzy or that multiple offer situation versus going 5 or 10 high and not going. And it's an interesting phenomenon that people are not coming in and saying, well, gosh, you listed that thing, we'll use the numbers we used on the break at 290, but I think it's worth 280. They're just walking away. They're just not even making that 280 offer for some reason, and they're moving on.
And whereas if you to put it on the market at 275,
yeah,
you're going to get a lot of offers. And you know how the business works. When a real estate agent is going to send in an offer, they're going to call the listing broker and they're going to say, what's going on with the house? Is it still available? Yes, it's still available. I have 5 offers. How soon can you get yours to me? And then the real estate agent knows, well, I don't think I've got much of a chance of getting this house at 275. I better make my offer a bit better than that so it's attractive to somebody.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. It's like even when all the REOs and all that were going on, they had the auctions, right?
Yeah.
Same kind of principle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bid it up.
Bid it up.
Bid it up. Yeah, and again, we talk about this all the time. I can't emphasize how important it is to have that professional that helps you through that process and knows what your neighborhood is doing and can make that determination for you. Jerry, tell us about your website. How do they get there? What can they find?
Okay, it's www.westusarockies.com. And what they're going to find there is current information. They're going to be able to do any of the searches they can do on the internet, on national sites, although it's going to be updated currently by MLS about every 3 hours or 4 hours. They're going to get current information, and they're going to know what's real in the marketplace, not what's assumed to be real on a national website.
Right.
I think it's important for people to understand what the national website business is about. It's about collecting your information and selling it to me so I can call you and try to make you a customer. That's what it's all about. That's how they make their money.
And that includes the Zillows and the
Truly
is all those sites.
And other ones, absolutely.
Yeah, and they're good about collecting information. They're not very good about getting it updated. And sometimes that's the agents that, they put it out there and it's a process to go and market as sold or what have you. So that does not happen. So there's a lot of false information on those sites about what's going on, what's happening in the marketplace and what's available in the marketplace. And
that's for sure.
Not good.
Jerry,
not good.
If someone wanted to get into one of your stores, what advice overall would you have for them to start the process? They're interested in buying or selling.
I think just come talk to us. We're a fairly low-pressure organization. We're not going to pressure you into doing anything. We're going to try to create a relationship with you because that's what this is all about, creating a relationship that gets you what you want and builds our reputation. We're new. Obviously, we got to do a better job than everybody else to keep our customers, and that's what we're trying to do. We have highly professional people that have been in the market for a long time. And
what is the average experience level of your agents?
Oh, over 15 years.
Okay. So they've been around.
So they've been around. And myself, let's not talk about how long that's been.
Yeah.
You bring that up a little bit, that average. Right?
I bring up the average, yeah.
Let's say that. Okay, so give you a call. And what about lending, financing? That's Tom. That's obviously we always encourage. Better start with your lender, right?
Start early, start often. That's what I say.
If you're a buyer in today's market and you want to buy a house, you better be pre-qualified and substantially pre-qualified because if you go look at a house and you're not qualified, nobody's going to pay any attention to you. They're probably not even going to look at your offer.
Well, and the problem I have with many of my customers is that moves so quickly right now. They call me, I spend some time with them over the phone, I'm waiting to get documents from them, and in the meantime, their agent gets them under contract in a 30-day contract or less. And I'm sitting there going, I've got to collect a lot of documentation here very, very, very quickly. So I encourage you have that phone call with a good mortgage professional. I hope that's me.
Oh, that's for sure.
And get them all the documents that they ask of you. We did a show 2 weeks ago about the do's and don'ts in the lending world, and part of that is just being proactive and getting that information that you need, and realizing that the process is a little more anal than it was 5 years ago. And we're going to ask you for stuff that you're going to be a little bit surprised at, but that's the way lending works. We want to.
So you need your children's birth certificates, their signatures,
we need a blood sample,
fingerprints.
We need all of that stuff.
The whole 9 yards. But advice to buyers.
It's not that bad. we make it fairly pain-free, but it is a little more than it used to be.
Right. Advice to buyers, and if a buyer comes and sees us, and I want this and I want that, the first thing we're going to say to them is we need to get you in front of a mortgage person, because there's what you want and there's what you can have. And we might as well start the process honestly until we know what you can have. Does it make sense to search properties that are going to be gone 3 days from now and that you can't buy?
That you can't buy anyway. That's
right. And when you are a buyer in today's market, be prepared to know what you want, and be prepared to make a decision, because you won't have a long time to do it.
Yeah, I think, and that's hard, isn't it? It is hard. You see a house, you're like, "Am I committed?" But you have no choice.
Yeah. It's not, the days of having 5 to choose from, and this one is this much better than that one. Unfortunately, it's just not the way that this game plays right now. You get 90% there, and I think you're doing pretty well in today's market. Now, I think the move-up market is maybe a little better. As the higher up you go in that marketplace, the little more options you have. But that first-time homebuyer market is tough. It's a challenge. Yeah. And, I close these loans every month, so I know you're able to get success. And the ones who are successful are using very, very skilled agents.
Absolutely.
Jerry, are you looking for other Walmart stores, too, to expand?
Oh, I think that 8 or 4 over the last 6 months is enough for right now. We need to do a good job of what we're doing. We don't need to get ourselves to the point where we can't manage what we're doing well. We're looking for more experienced agents that want this opportunity.
Okay, good.
We could always use more agents because we can create a lot of leads. So,
Jerry, how do they get in touch with you? If they can, an agent or a buyer or a seller looking to
they
check you
can
out.
Call us at 303-785-3000, or leave a message for us on the website, and we'll get it immediately and get back and touch with them, and that's www.westusarockies.com.
Very good. So an agent, or if you're looking for additional leads and how to build your business, it's a great opportunity to have a conversation with Jerry.
Well, it's funny. I would actually think from like and not that you necessarily want maybe newer agents, but in some case that's not bad either, right? You can guide those people. A good opportunity for somebody looking to get some traffic.
Oh, certainly, and we do look for new agents because this is a new area of the business, and it requires a different attitude than older agents have sometimes. It's about attitude, about a changing market and being willing to change with the market.
Well, there's definitely a little bit of change in this marketplace in the last several years.
Just a little.
So,
and I think we're seeing a whole nother change again, right?
The ones who are adapting are doing quite well, and if you want to plod along in the tar, you're going to have troubles.
Absolutely.
So it's always interesting to watch and see who succeeds and excels in this marketplace. And I think it's a great concept. Bring it to the people and make it accessible.
Are you seeing quite a bit of traffic, people coming through the stores?
Yes, we are, and it's been a learning experience because we're seeing our people develop relationships with those customers and those Walmart employees. We not only have the huge customer base in Walmart, but we have all those employees who want to have houses. And, I think the average Walmart store has somewhere between 300 and 500 employees. So we're talking about a big customer base.
Yeah, there. And that's a really good point, too. I never think about that because you do go to your local supermarket, and how often does the cashier know you, right? Or, I wouldn't say always, but, there's familiar faces, right? Really no different in your concept.
Absolutely not. Our marketing people that are there are getting to know the customers. The customers are getting to know them. If I go up north and Amy isn't there that day and I'm there, the customers are saying, "Where's Amy? I want to talk to Amy." So our biggest attraction actually was we bought some stuffed black Labradors that are the full-size Labrador, It doesn't eat any food. It doesn't go to the bathroom or do any of those things. But the customers love them. They come up and spend more time with the dog sometime than they spend with us, and then want to know where they can buy one.
There you go.
That's great. Well, it sounds like a neat concept.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, you're listening to Real Estate Radio Denver. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I want to thank Jerry Rohlfs with West USA Realty of the Rockies for coming in and joining us. And Tom Geisen, as always, thank you so much.
You bet.
Again, that off-air number, 720-515-1818. Give us a call. I'll put you together with Jerry. Thanks. Bye.